Congressman Greg Landsman of Cincinnati, Ohio, has been holding local town hall meetings since he was sworn in this January. However, this past weekend, the event was canceled due to safety concerns stemming from tension around the Israel-Hamas war.
Let's bring in Congressman Greg Landsman. Good afternoon to you, and thanks a lot for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
So what caused you to cancel the town hall meeting? Was there a direct threat?
Recently, there have been protests. A lot of Jewish members have had protests, either at events or in front of their offices. And there was going to be a protest at our town hall, a sit-in, and we were ready for that. That's something that we can handle. But the online rhetoric and some of the chatter just made law enforcement very concerned, because there's also this national rise in anti-Semitism, threats on Jews, and so the recommendation was to cancel it or reschedule it, which is what we felt like we had to do, which is scary and very frustrating.
You mentioned that sit-in that was scheduled to happen at that canceled town hall. Have you spoken to any of the members of that group that was planning to do the sit-in?
Yeah, we reached out to the group and said, hey, we have to cancel the town hall for security reasons, but we would love to come and sit down and have a conversation. And this morning they responded and said, we would love that too. And so we will set up time for this week or next to have what I hope is a really productive conversation. And I've had those conversations with members of our Jewish community, our Muslim community, and, sitting down and being together is really important right now, and getting offline. People have got to get offline and talk to one another.
So what are you hearing? You've made it a priority to meet with Jewish and Muslim communities. What are you hearing from your constituents?
So for both Jewish and Muslim friends, constituents of mine, it's pretty similar. There's an enormous amount of fear and frustration, anger, grief, trauma, and a sense that they aren't fully seen or fully heard, and that the media or social media, it's biased. I mean, it's this shared experience between Jews and Muslims, and in particular Jews and Palestinians, is something people don't realize. Jews and Palestinians in particular have been in this together for a long time. The fact is, most of the world doesn't want either of us. And, we've been forced, on this one sort of sliver of land, and most Israelis and most Palestinians want to live in peace, and we have got to get to a place where that's possible.
Last week, the House voted to approve a $14 billion aid package for Israel. Ukraine was not included in that, even though the war there is still ongoing. Why is that?
Look, the folks who took over the House are not serious people. It's very frustrating. We're dealing with some of the most serious issues the country has faced in a long, long time, and it requires serious leadership. And we are looking for bipartisan serious leadership. And this new speaker, what he did by taking this emergency aid bill, saying, hey, we're just going to do Israel, but in order to pay for it, we're going to protect billionaires from paying all their taxes, which actually increases spending. Absolutely absurd and unserious and very frustrating, because the American people need us to keep their government open. They need us to keep the investments flowing to the economy, and they want us to help our global partners, because democracy and freedom are on the line in Eastern Europe and in the Middle East.
And finally, Congressman, when you look at the conflict overseas and what's going on back here at home, what can we as Americans and you as a leader do when it comes to accepting people for their differences and ridding out hate?
It's such an important question. I don't have a perfect answer, and no one does. I go back to what's worked for me in the past, which is always relationships. Call your Jewish friends, call your Muslim friends, call all your friends, and make sure they're okay. be part of these conversations, make sure the conversations are healthy and productive and fact-based, and get offline. I know it's hard, but there's so much dangerous, unproductive rhetoric online. And as a member of Congress, I do know that Iran and Russia, others, they're pumping a lot of bad stuff onto social media in order to divide us. If we're divided, that's in Putin's best interest and Hamas's best interest. If we're united, it's not. That's when we can remove Hamas from power and push Putin back.
Representative Landsman, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.